This is Matt Duffield from mattduffieldtrading.com, and tonight I'm doing a hot penny stock recap on CANF. And before I get started, I do want to remind you this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I'm not a registered investment advisor, and penny stock trading can be very risky, so you do need to make your own trading decisions. That being said, CANF was the hot penny stock play of the day. I mean, there were a couple, but really this was the main play that the traders were watching. They did have big news this morning, and that caused a gap up over the weekend from a close of 420, and today it gapped open to 496, kind of chopped around between 5 and 5. I think it hit 530 for the high right here in the first 20 minutes of trading. I did hold a fairly large position over the weekend. I think I had about 2,850 shares, and I managed to sell at $5 and I think it was $5.10 a share. So it was an awesome trade for me. I got out, made, I don't even know how much that was, 2,500 or more profit. So a great trade for me. CANF has been a tough one. I've actually lost a decent amount of money on this trying to trade in and out of it over the past 2 weeks or so. It's a tough one to trade. It's tough to follow the technicals, and the charts are very choppy. I'm sure a lot of other traders are having a difficult time as well. So I just wanted to point out what I'm seeing here, and I'm sure quite a few traders are still in this, hoping for higher prices. So let's see what might happen over the next coming days and weeks. But anyway, just a recap of today. CANF did top at 530 and then quickly plunged lower into the 480 range. And I don't know how to explain it, besides possibly saying this was a little double top on the intraday chart. And if that's the case, the price target would have been $4.75 per share, which price did come down and tag about 477 there. So you could say it double topped in the first 20 minutes, sold off pretty strongly. And what I was trying to say is I don't know how else to explain this, but when this morning action did not look strong. I kind of felt like this was going to fade all day, and that's exactly what it did. So anyway, after trying to retest $5 here, it failed, came lower down into the 460, 470 range, and that's where it stayed most of the late morning and afternoon. And I did post a tweet somewhere in here, I think late morning around 4. Price was around 470, and I said, I think this is going to have one more drop to about 450, and that might be a good buying opportunity if you're not looking to trade today, but maybe hold a couple days. I thought that was going to happen in the morning session. It didn't. Instead, it chopped around all day and then finally came down and hit 454.5 in the final 20 minutes of trading. So it almost hit my price target, but it's close enough. And how I derived that, it's something most penny stock traders aren't really using. I mean, I don't hear anyone else talking about this, but I like to use Elliot Wave and Fibonacci ratios and things like that as much as I can. And using Elliot Wave, I'm not perfect with it. I mean, I'm still new to not new, but I've been studying Elliot Wave 4 or 5 years. But it's not my strongest point, but I try to use it whenever I can. But anyway, I saw this as an A wave down, followed by a B wave up to that 508, and then just this long drawn out C wave. And after it hit this B wave high at 508, I projected that it should come down to about 453, I think it was, to be a perfect relationship with the A wave and the size of the C wave. And sure enough, it hit 454.5 in late trading. So there might be something to it. And I never base my trading decisions just on Elliott Wave or Fibonacci's. But when you have decent support at 450, that's another reason to consider dip buying. So you have an ABC move, which is corrective and should be the end of basically a bearish wave. and with the C wave terminating right at a decent support level of 450. So, like I said, there might be something to this. There could be a continued up move in the coming days, and I'm not positive on it, but I feel more bullish on this than bearish. I mean, sure, price can come down and fill this gap at 420. That is a risk. Um, I try not to use fundamentals too much, but I do still consider them. And with this stock having an orphan drug status news release today, I'm still amazed that the market cap on this thing is still around 50 million. It's hard to believe. I really think this stock is going to be valued at $7 or $8 a share in no time. So at the daily chart, to me, that looks bullish. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like just seeing charts over time. That's how I feel. Today's candlestick in particular isn't bullish. That does suggest lower prices. But if you look at the 60-minute chart, go out about 6 weeks, you can see we had a higher high here. A lower high here on September 24th. And now it's like things have started to shift. Now we're getting a higher low. This could be a higher low, and prices could continue on up. And obviously, once it breaks above this area, this 560 range, I mean, it could really, that's when you could get another move like this right here into the $7 to $8 range. Still speculative at this point, but it's something to consider because your downside risk is really pretty low. You're looking at 4 to 420 a share, maybe a 10%, 15% move lower. But the way I see it, 50% or greater on the upside. So I still really like CANF. This, like I said, this very well could be the bottom, and this could be the start of the up move. I definitely might be entering in the morning. I'm going to wait and see what kind of price action there is. I won't be entering on a gap up into the 470s. I'll wait for, if it does gap into the 470s or higher, I'll wait for it to fill that little gap because that's what I think this stock will do. It tends to fill its gaps pretty well. And then consider buying in. But if not, if it opens and it's weak, I might be just on the sidelines watching and expecting a gap fill. But there's so many catalysts that this stock can have right now. A lot of us were expecting news over the weekend on the psoriasis data from the Saturday conference, and I'm sorry, was it a conference? They were just going to release data as far as I'm concerned. And as of now, there hasn't been a press release. So that could hit anytime. That could be a huge catalyst. Also, I've read that there is a shareholder meeting on, let's see, Thursday. That could be another reason for a big catalyst. So I tend to think, if I can dip by this tomorrow, or if there's strength in the morning, I'd like to be in because with pending news on psoriasis and the shareholder meeting on Thursday, I think this has great potential for another up move. Worst case, I see this heading back and retesting these highs near 520, which is currently, about 15% higher. So that's kind of what I see in CANF. I do wish you guys the best of luck trading it tomorrow. I like I said, I think this thing is kind of hard to trade in and out of, but if you kind of take a bigger picture and keep your positions on the light side, that way you can average in, because what happened to me last week, I thought this was bottoming at 450 when it hit support, and it just kept stair-stepping lower, and I averaged in because there was strong support at $4, and I knew there was potential news over the weekend. Turned out to be a great hold. But anyway, best of luck, guys. I'll be in touch tomorrow.